Hey everybody, welcome to No Jumper News. It's Adam22 here with your man AD, maybe Rumor, I don't know. Let's get right into the stories. A leaked clip from Juvenile's interview with VladTv has hit the internet this week and has since gone viral. In the video, Vlad brings up his previous conversation with Young Buck when Juvenile abruptly interrupts, making it clear that they are not cool.
Recently. And he was telling me how right around that time, he actually ended up joining up with you.
Buck is a bitch, bruh. I hate Buck. I hate Young Buck, fam. Buck is a bitch ass nigga, so we ain't gonna talk about Buck at all, period.
Do me a favor, just ask me about me. Don't throw names out there like that. I hate Buck. It was your interview he done that really made me trigger back to like, fuck him for real, fam. The person off camera then asked Vlad to keep Juvie's comments from airing, but Juvenile clarifies that he did not care if his remarks came out to the public. I don't care what you put out. I don't give a fuck. Fuck Buck. I mean what I'm saying. Before signing with G-Unit in the 2000s, Young Buck used to run around with Cash Money Records as a teenager in the late 90s. In Buck's interview with Vlad last December, he detailed a story about how Juvenile left him stranded in Los Angeles when they were supposed to meet with Suge Knight to sign a deal with Death Row Records. Well, it seems that Royce the 5'9" still has some issues with DJ Vlad as well, and the content that he pushes out. Royce reposted the viral clip to his Instagram to point out that Vlad is the common denominator between Buck's story and Juvie's anger. How he's choosing to handle Buck is his choice, but I'd be remiss not to point out that we get so triggered by each other and we are so quick to cut each other off, but we forget that there's a common denominator here. Eliminate Vlad because his platform is a direct threat to our strength, adding, we don't need him. Hashtag unity is strength. Okay, so it seems like Vladimir is back in the news. When you look at this situation, I don't know, man. It's pretty hard for me to find anything that Vlad did wrong. Like, literally all that Vlad did when you watch this video. And by the way, the reason why this is out now is because Vlad has the membership program on his YouTube channel where if you pay $5 a month and you get to watch his interviews in advance. And this is the first time that this has happened to him where the full video is available for paying subscribers, but then obviously somebody just paid the $5 and they screen recorded it and put it out to the world, but whatever. Vlad doesn't really say anything that would be grounds for Juvie to freak out this hard. I mean, it's fine if Juvenile doesn't want to talk about Young Buck, but from my perspective, it's like, why? Like, what did Vlad do that was so bad? All he did was say his name. Juvenile could have literally said, I don't want to talk about Young Buck. Next question. I know Vlad, I know how he works. He would have said, all right, next question, because Vlad is conscious of his public persona and he knows that he doesn't want to come off like he's, digging for information or being too much of an informant. So that's my main takeaway from all this is that I don't really think there's anything that you could possibly point to and say that Vlad did wrong here.
I mean, there's two sides of the spectrum. Some may say that him triggering him may incited him to get the response that he did for clicks or views or anything like that. But I mean, I agree with what you said is that, they could have said his name and he could have said, you know what, I don't want to talk about it and kept the shit pushing. We don't know the backstory of why they have so many problems. For him to blow up like that, they really probably have some bad past stuff stemming with each other, and I don't know what the hell it is. And
it's definitely shit from back in the day because the thing that pissed Juvenile off, like you said, was that Young Buck told this whole story about how Juvenile left him in LA and everything. And if you watch that story, it does make it sound like Juvenile was kind of a bougie asshole rapper who didn't care about his crew. I'm not saying that that's actually true, but that's definitely the portrait that Buck painted of him in this interview. And I can definitely understand how that would piss Juvenile off enough that he might not want to talk about it. But at the same time, I don't really understand why he wouldn't just tell his version of the story if his story is more compelling than the version that Buck put out there. Either way, I mean, Vlad putting this out there like that, you could kind of look at it and say like, oh, Vlad, why'd you put that out there like that? Even though that is kind of a weird double standard because I don't remember almost anybody saying that to me when Cuban Doll walked out, Black China walked out. Nobody's hitting me saying you shouldn't put that out. If you got somebody walking out on camera, we all know that shit is gold. We all know that gotta come out. But even if that is your opinion, his manager said in the video, don't put this clip out. And then Juvenile said, no, put the clip out. So, I mean, apparently Juvenile just wanted everybody to know that he hates Young Buck and didn't really feel like going into detail about why.
And I don't think that one little incident lost for him to give that response, it got to be stuff way deeper. That's real personal. And for him to even, they suggested take it out and him saying, no, leave that shit up on there. I want the world to see. That shit is way deeper than what it is. But hopefully y'all beat the shit out of each other and have fun afterwards. Next story. A 32-year-old Indian YouTuber, Gaurav Sharma, was arrested after a video of him making his dog float up in the air with the help of helium balloons went viral on social media. The now-deleted video shows Gavar's tow Pomeranian named Dollar being sent flying into the air and colliding into a balcony. Gavar has over 4.15 million subscribers and uploaded the video to his channel, Gavar Zone, on May 21st. Police ultimately charged Gavar after officials from People for Animals filed a complaint alleging that Gavar risked his dog's life. Authorities also charged his mother, who appeared in the twisted video. YouTuber Gavar Sharma arrested for cruelty to an animal after he posted a video on social media where he floated up a pet dog in the air by tying hydrogen balloons on his back, risking his life. After many of the viewers criticized the video and receiving so much backlash, Gavar removed the clip from his YouTube channel and uploaded a second video where he apologized. He also explained how he took all safety measures while making the video, with his adding that the dog was like his child and he would never hurt him.
Listen, I don't know if it's really my place to have an opinion about what the Indian government is doing or anything, but when I see a dog floating around with balloons, holding them up in the air, I think it's cute. I think it's adorable. Have you ever seen the Pikachu and he's floating around with the balloons in Pokemon Go? I look at that, what do I think? Oh, that poor Pikachu, he's gonna float away and never come home. No, that's not how this works. Those balloons are gonna lose air. So even if that dog is up there for a few days, he's coming back. It's not like he's gonna make it to the moon. So for me, I think this is crazy. I think the Indian government's tripping. I don't think they understand YouTubers. They're coming down on these YouTubers. Like for me, I think this is a great trend and I'm planning on doing it with my cat in the very near future.
Peter, here we come. Yeah, man, I think I'm the worst person that should be talking about dogs.
You killed the dog. You killed the dog and you felt nothing.
I felt real bad about it. And kids, do not tie animals with balloons and send them like the movie Up. Please don't do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because if the dog would have died, something seriously would have happened to the dog. They said he collided. Then we'll all be sitting there saying that's a horrible human being and shit like that. So just don't do that shit in the first place.
Okay, if you went to Tulum this weekend and it just turns out that, you know, somebody caps you in Tulum, God forbid.
Caps me? Why the fuck they cap me?
I don't know, but maybe you have some problems out there in Mexico. We don't know. But either way, what are we gonna say? Are we gonna say, oh, AD should have never gone to Tulum? No, we're gonna just say like, damn, that sucks that AD went somewhere and ended up in a bad position and he got killed. What's up with the dog? Why is the dog not allowed to have life experiences? Maybe the dog wants to go in a hot air balloon. Maybe the dog wants to experience the atmosphere. I mean, a lot of dogs literally don't ever experience anything besides like a house, maybe the backyard. I mean, even if the dog did die, it's like, is the dog not allowed to have some fucking fun while he's here on Earth?
I think that he had the balloons put on his back against his will, and he didn't want to float into the next existence.
But what is the dog's will? The dog never signed a contract saying that he doesn't want to go up in the air.
They have doggy hotels, so they probably have doggy contracts.
I feel like pretty soon we're going to end up in the same conversation about bestiality, where like a dog can't really consent to having sex either way. So like the people who want to fuck dogs are out here really saying like the dog can't say no, so it's a yes. I don't agree with that about sex, but I do kind of agree with it in terms of balloons.
Well, we're going to agree to disagree.
You should have to sign a contract when you get a dog that is like, you can kind of make a decision about, is this a high-flying dog or is this a dog that's going to stay closer to Earth?
Get that dog a jet.
YouTube, if you enjoyed this here video, do us a favor, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll be back real soon. Appreciate y'all.